The world of country music just lost a giant, and the truth behind his final months is more heartbreaking than anyone realized. Raul Malo, the unforgettable voice of the Mavericks, is gone at just 60 years old. But what he endured in silence will leave you stunned. Today, we're uncovering the story no one wanted to tell. Raul Malo wasn't just a singer. He was a force of nature, a man whose voice carried the soul of two worlds. The fire and passion of his Cuban heritage, and the grit and storytelling of American country music. Before the spotlight, before the awards, before the stadium crowds, he was just a kid from Miami, dreaming of carving out a sound the world had never heard before. Born Raul Francisco Martinez Malo Jr., he grew up surrounded by musical Latinas, boleros, salsa, rancheras, the heartbeat of his parents' homeland. But something called him toward country music, where storytelling meets emotion and every lyric has a history. He didn't just follow the genre, he reinvented it. And when he co-founded the Mavericks in 1989, no one knew they were witnessing the birth of a new sound. Country, rock, Latin flair, and pure soul blended into something fresh and electrifying. It didn't take long for people to notice. The Mavericks' harmonies were rich, their performances were explosive, and at the center of it all was Raul, his voice soaring from deep velvet tones to angelic high notes that could fill any room with raw emotion. Awards followed: a Grammy, 2 CMA Awards, 3 Academy of Country Music Awards, and 13 studio albums that made millions dance, laugh, sing, and cry. Fans saw the success, but what they didn't see was the battle quietly waiting for him in the shadows. Because behind every smile, every powerful performance, there was a storm brewing. In 2024, Raul received the news that would flip his entire world upside down: colon cancer. A diagnosis no family ever wants to hear. The kind of news that takes the breath right out of a person. But Raul wasn't built to back down. He faced his cancer fight the same way he faced a sold-out crowd, with courage, passion, and a determination to keep going. But cancer is unpredictable. It changes the rules without warning. That's exactly what happened when his doctors discovered something far more terrifying: leptomeningeal disease, a rare condition where cancer spreads into the tissues around the brain and spinal cord. A diagnosis so shocking that even Raul had to make a joke just to survive it emotionally. In a video message to fans, he said, "LMD stands for, get this, leave my dignity." A moment that showed his strength, even while facing the unthinkable. He didn't hide from the truth. He looked his fans directly in the eye and said, "It's unpredictable. It's indiscriminate. And tomorrow, I start radiation." Still, he wanted to keep performing. He wanted to stay on stage, the one place where pain didn't win. But eventually, the disease demanded what music never could: silence. In September, the Mavericks made an emotional announcement. Tour dates were canceled, shows were halted, and the band asked fans for patience, support, and hope. Raul promised he'd be back, not just for the music, but for the people who believed in him from the beginning. He talked about future projects, new merchandise, live recordings, anything that kept that connection alive. But what fans didn't know was that this was a turning point. The moment when fighting became harder than performing. When the man who brought so much joy to the world was quietly facing the darkest chapter of his life. His wife, Betty Malo, stood by him every step of the way. His sons, Dino, Victor, and Max, watched their father battle a disease no one is prepared for, a disease that attacks not only the body but the core of who you are. And as treatments intensified, as radiation came, as chemo followed, as the days began to blur together, Raul still tried to smile, still tried to be strong, still tried to tell the world, "I'll see you again." But the truth is, something was changing, something the public didn't see, something that brings us to the heartbreaking next part of this story. The moment music's brightest light began to fade faster than anyone was ready for. In the final weeks of Raul Malo's life, the music may have quieted, but the love surrounding him only grew louder. His home became a place of reflection, where memories filled the air like gentle harmonies, and family held on to hope even when fear tried to take over. Raul had spent his entire life giving everything to his fans, and now, in his most fragile moments, that love was pouring right back toward him, in waves he could feel, even when words became harder to speak. His wife, Betty Malo, stood as his rock. For 34 years, she was not just the love of his life. She was the heartbeat behind the music, through every award, every tour, every applause. It was Betty who kept his world grounded. When she announced his passing, her message wasn't just a statement, it was a love letter to a man who changed lives through every note he sang. She wrote, "He was called to do another gig, this time in the sky, and he's flying high like an eagle." A line that left fans in tears. Because Raul wasn't just gone. He was performing somewhere the rest of us can't see yet. She continued, honoring the passion that defined him. No one embodied life and love, joy and passion, family, friends, music and adventure the way our beloved Raul did. Their sons, Dino, Victor, and Max, each inherited pieces of their father, his musical spirit, his humor, his courage. They now carry his legacy, not as a burden, but as a reminder that greatness comes from the heart, not the spotlight. When news of his death broke, the world of country music felt the impact instantly. Fans who grew up dancing to "All You Ever Do Is Bring Me Down" and "Dance the Night Away" shared memories online. Concert videos resurfaced. People began posting the exact moment they first discovered Raul's voice and how it made them feel something unforgettable. Musicians from across genres, country, rock, Americana, Latin, united to honor him. Because Raul Malo didn't believe in musical borders, he erased them. Bandmates Paul Deacon, Eddie Perez, and Jerry Dale McFadden were devastated. They weren't just losing a frontman, they were losing a brother. Their message was simple. His voice was magic, his spirit irreplaceable. Tributes filled social media, a once-in-a-lifetime voice, a trailblazer who proved country could be global. He made emotions sound effortless. Even fans who never met him felt like they knew him, because Raul sang like he was singing only to you. But perhaps the most emotional tribute came from the Maverick's own community. At concerts around the country, fans gathered to play his music, loud, not to mourn, but to celebrate. Because Raul always believed music should make you feel alive. His death also sparked powerful conversations about colon cancer awareness, especially among middle-aged men who often ignore early warning signs. Raul didn't get to finish his fight, but by sharing his diagnosis publicly, he may have saved countless lives. And yet, as people continue to grieve, one question remains. What happens to the Mavericks? The band has promised that the music won't stop, that Raul will always lead the way through recordings, live tracks, unreleased performances, and memories. The truth is this: Raul Malo didn't just leave behind songs. He left behind impact, a lifelong mission to break rules, unite cultures, and show the world that music has no walls. And now, his life becomes a legacy that future generations will learn from, a voice that will continue to echo far beyond this moment. But as we remember Raul's courage, there's one more part of this story, something deeply personal that fans may not be ready for. Because the final message Raul gave his audience wasn't one of sadness, it was one of hope. In the last chapter of his life, when the cameras were off and the hospital walls grew colder, Raul Malo still found a way to speak to the world with honesty, with bravery, and with that signature humor that helped him face even the darkest days. He took to Instagram not long before his passing, sharing a video recorded from home. His voice was soft, not weak, just gentler. And his smile carried the weight of a man who understood something many of us spend a lifetime trying to learn. He looked straight into the lens, and with the same confidence he once used to command a stadium, said, "Take care of yourselves, rest when you need it, and always, always celebrate life." Those words hit fans differently now. They weren't lyrics, they weren't performance, they were truth, a reminder from a man who knew time was slipping faster than he could hold on to it. He thanked fans for their support, for their prayers, for their love. He acknowledged the brutality of cancer without ever letting it define him. "I'm fighting," he said. "We're trying everything, radiation, chemo, even alternative treatments. I'm doing what I can to stay here." But then came the part that shook everyone watching. Instead of breaking down, Raul kept encouraging others. He told viewers to go to concerts, to hug their loved ones, to chase experiences, not objects. He urged people to find joy, not tomorrow, not later, but now. It was almost as if he wasn't saying goodbye. He was giving instructions for how to keep his spirit alive. As his condition worsened, his family took over communication. But the fans refused to let his voice fade. Even from his bed, Raul could feel the love, the messages, the videos, the memories shared by people around the world. And when he took his final breath on December 8th, 2025, that love didn't disappear. It ignited something bigger. In the days following his death, tributes turned into celebrations of life. Radio stations replayed the Maverick's greatest hits, letting his voice echo through homes, cars, and workplaces, warm, familiar, eternal. Fans lined social media with stories of the first time they heard him sing, weddings where they danced to "Dance the Night Away," road trips soundtracked by "All You Ever Do Is Bring Me Down," and personal moments of healing helped by the tenderness in his tone. Raul didn't just make music, he healed hearts. His legacy now reaches beyond fame or accolades. People have begun pushing for more colon cancer screenings, raising awareness in his honor. Advocacy groups are sharing his story to encourage early detection. Despite everything cancer took from him, Raul is still saving lives. That in itself is the definition of a hero. His bandmates say they will continue, not to replace him because that is impossible, but to protect what he built. His voice is forever etched into their songs. His presence is in every harmony. His passion is in every chord. Whether the Mavericks release new recordings or reshare the final performances they captured, Raul's soul will be there. But it's his family who carries the most precious part of his memory. His wife, Betty, has described him as a man who lived every moment fully. His sons feel him everywhere, in music, in laughter, in every reminder that life is fragile but endlessly beautiful. They are committed to honoring him, not through sorrow, but through celebration. So what did Raul truly want? His final interviews and posts made that clear. "Do not mourn me in silence. Sing louder, love deeper, and never hold back your joy." Those were not just final words, they were a final mission. Raul knew his voice would outlive his body. He made sure of it, and that's why his death does not feel like an ending. It feels like a torch being passed, a call to live boldly, to express fearlessly, to love without hesitation. Raul Malo spent 60 years showing us what passion sounds like. Now, it's our turn to carry that forward. Because when a voice like his falls silent, the world has a responsibility to make sure the echoes never fade. Raul Malo's passing has left a silence in the world of music that feels almost impossible to fill. Because for more than 3 decades, his voice wasn't just a part of country music, it was a redefining force inside it. He stretched the limits of the genre, blending cultures, rhythms, languages, and emotions in a way that few artists ever could. He showed the world that music doesn't have to stay inside the lines. It can break free, travel across borders, and reach people in the deepest parts of their hearts. And that's why today, even in his absence, his presence is everywhere. Fans still press play on his songs, and instantly Raul is right there with them, singing, smiling, telling stories only the heart understands. People are replaying his live performances, hearing his jokes between songs, remembering the joy he brought to every stage. Radio hosts are dedicating hours to celebrate his impact. Musicians who once stood backstage watching him in awe now step forward to share how much he shaped their careers. And those who were lucky enough to perform by his side are holding on to his teachings like priceless treasure. His death has sparked a movement, not only in music, but in health awareness. Raul used his platform to share his diagnosis openly. Even when his voice was tired and his body was struggling, he wanted people to know the truth. Colon cancer can strike suddenly, and it does not discriminate. His journey is now being used to encourage men to get screened earlier, to pay attention to their bodies, to take action long before it's too late. And in that mission, Raul Malo will continue saving lives for generations. But the greatest part of his legacy doesn't live in hospitals or award shows. It lives in families who choose his songs at weddings because love deserves the soundtrack of his voice. It lives in fans who find strength in his music during grief. It lives in the countless personal stories shared across social media, where ordinary people explain how Raul helped them through the hardest times without ever knowing their names. Even now, his story is still being written through those who refuse to let his memory fade. His wife, Betty, continues to reflect his joy and spirit with every tribute. His sons are finding ways to keep his dream alive. And his bandmates, the Mavericks, are gearing up to honor his legacy not with sorrow, but with more music, more creativity, and more celebration. Because Raul never wanted tears to be the final chapter. He wanted the music to go on. He taught us something profound. The goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that does. Raul Malo achieved that. Every lyric he wrote, every note he held with impossible beauty, every handshake with fans after a show, it all becomes part of the legacy he leaves behind. No disease, no silence, no passing can erase the mark he carved into the soul of this world. So how do we honor a man like Raul? We follow his lead. We celebrate life without hesitation. We love louder. We dance even when nobody is watching. We take risks, break molds, and bring passion to everything we do. We let music move us, and then we move right along with it. Because Raul Malo didn't live a small life. He lived a life full of melody, color, and meaning, and now he wants us to do the same. Before we end this tribute, I want to speak directly to you, the viewer. If Raul's story inspired you, if his music ever lifted your spirit, if his courage made you rethink life even for a moment, then carry that feeling forward. Share his music, share his message, and most importantly, share your voice, the way Raul shared his. If you love Raul Malo and want his legacy to continue reaching the world, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your favorite Raul Malo song in the comments below. Let's fill the comment section with memories, gratitude, and love. The way Raul filled the world with music. His final chapter on earth is written. But the song of Raul Malo, that's just beginning.